Guys, I think I am live. Let me see. Can you guys see me? If yes, just let me know by with any of your chat or anything. Yes, I feel I'm live now. So, hello guys. So, welcome to my second stream. And is the sound clear? Because in my last stream I have switched off the fan. So anybody of you, if somebody is live at all, so they can let me know whether the sound is coming good, or how the sound quality is. Let me see. Okay. Hi. I'm sorry I cannot spell your name. Okay. So today is the second day of my live stream sessions, and I have thought to do these live streams every weekend on Saturday and Sunday. So hope I will get more and more support from you. So yesterday, if we see, we just go to the gallery. So I showed you how to draw this cute little dog, and can you see it? Let me check my connection once again. Okay, it's showing it's mirrored. Let me check it once again. Yeah, I think you can see it now. Maybe due to some lag, there is some difference in time. Hi all. So in this session, we will learn, we'll discover basically the Procreate a little more. Last session was very basic, and I had tried to bring as much simple as possible. I tried to make it as simple as possible. If you guys can hear the fan sound, if it is creating a more noise, just let me know in the chat, because then I'll switch off the fan. So since it is not that cold over here, so I have switched on the fan. Let me know if the sound is not coming well. So anyway, so in this session what we will do is we will explore this a little bit more, and how I have divided this. Though yesterday I had covered a few areas of the overall interface of Procreate, in this session I will cover a little bit more in depth, or in little bit more in detail, and we'll try to draw a pretty picture. So let's get started. I'll do a quick recap of overall interface that we had gone through in our last week. Let me know what you were doing in the weekends in your comment box, in your chat box. Let me know how was your week, how is the situation on the overall health of your family, how is everybody doing who is staying along with you. So let me know. We can have a very casual chat while we are drawing. So just to have a recap, so basically first thing first, we can hold our finger, tap anywhere, and we will get this color picker, which is one of the most important tools. So we can pick any color from this by holding with our finger on the screen. So if we hold and just move our finger, we can pick any color like this, right? So say for example, I just need this brown. So see, the current color is like this kind of brown. Next, we also knew about some of the brushes that we use, and what are the kind of default brushes. So I told that few of the previous brushes are custom brushes, but basically from sketching, inking, drawing, this is the default brushes that we can find in Procreate. And in this week we will learn a little bit more about the layers. which is one of the most powerful aspect of Procreate. So we will know about the layers, and after that we will explore a little bit more about some other tools. So let's get started. So first of all, when we start a new image, what we take a new canvas. So let's learn, let's know a little bit about the canvas. So by the side of the window, you can see there is a little plus, right? Where I am moving my mouse cursor, you can see there is a plus sign. So when you click over here, you can see the canvas size. Generally I take the screen size over here, which is 230/8 by 1688 pixel. This is enough for doing your basic works. So this is how we get. By the way, when you want to know a little bit more about your canvas, a little bit more about your details, what you can do is just click on this gear icon. There is a gear icon which I am turning on and off. So when you click this gear icon, you can go to canvas information. So in this canvas information, what you actually do is you can check for yourself the pixel weight, pixel height, what is the size of your canvas, what is the physical weight if you want to take a printout of it. So you can actually take the physical weight and height of your canvas, how much big you want. Since I'm using newest Apple iPad, which is Apple iPad M1, I can also see the layers and how many layers I can get over here. So I can see there are about 206 layers which I can get, and I am currently in one layer, and there are 205 additional layer which I can take. So that's about the layers. And then we have the color profile, what kind of color profile that we are using. So right now we are using very default the display P3 profile, which is quite good enough for doing the day-to-day artworks. And then we have the video settings. Now you may ask, what is video settings? This is very interesting and a very funny thing to experiment. I'll come to it later on, so stay with me in this live session. I'll show you what it does. And then we have the statistics, like how many numbers of strokes I have made in this canvas, what is the total track time, how many hours or how many minutes I'm working on this file. All these things can be can be known from here. So this is what basically does we get from the canvas and canvas information. This is one of the most important area, which is a little bit not that explored in the tutorials, but we must be having a very good information about these things. And of course you can do the artworks, so we can name it like, say for example, live stream art. So this is the artwork that we are going to do today, and we can name it customly, and we can also do the sign. So say for example, I am doing a sign of my name on okay, so I am the artist, so I can do the sign and I can keep it with my Procreate canvas just for like custom information tagged with this image. Let me see if there are any. By the way, if there is any question, any doubt that you have in between, let me know. I will try to solve it immediately. Or like, since this is my second live stream, so there may not be much people. So I can see there may be 3 or 5 people over here right now. So there may not be very huge number of people at this moment, but you may see this live stream in a later period of time as a regular video. So at that time also, if you have any question, let me know in the comment box and I'll definitely try to clear them up. So coming back. Next, we must know what is the color, how we can work with the colors. So I will come to a detailed session about the color theory itself, how we can use the colors, what is complementary colors, supplementary colors, and all those details in a later period of time. For now, the most important or the most basic thing that we do is use the color palette in the classic format. Now, as we know, in color there are 3 factors. One is hue, another is saturation, another is brightness. Those things are covered over here by these 3 bars. The first bar that I'm moving right now defines the hue, that is the purity of a color. Say for example, we want to come to a violet zone. So I can come to violet. Now after we come to violet, we may have a question, how dark or how light the violet should be. So that lightness or the darkness is covered by the brightness bar, which is at the bottom. So as you can see, as I move my mouse cursor to the right, the actual color picker is going to the top, making the violet much more brighter. And if I go to the right, left, it becomes much more darker. So if I want to pick a lighter tone of violet, I'll go right like this. And if I want to pick a darker tone of violet, I'll go to left like this. So say for example, I took a darker tone of violet, a brush, a tamer brush, which is one of my most favorite, I told in my last episode, and I just gave some little wash strokes. What is wash stroke? Wash stroke are basically the background strokes that we lay out for the first time. Make my brush size a little bit bigger. This is the brush size and this is the opacity. If I reduce the opacity, the strokes or the color will be much more lighter. And if I increase the opacity, it will be a bit more darker. I hope that is clear, guys. So first we came to the violet zone through this hue bar. I came to this, okay, this is my violet zone, and then I came to the brightness or the darkness bar, which is the lightness bar. Now when we covered the two factors, that is the color purity, which is hue, and then the lightness and darkness, the third most important thing comes is what should be the saturation. Now what is saturation? Saturation is basically how light, not bright, how light the color will be, how less color will be there, or how more color will be there. So basically often we confuse these two terms, like we used to confuse like saturation with brightness. So brightness basically defines how much white is there in that color, whereas the saturation itself defines how much color quantity itself is there. So if I move this bar, which is the middle one, that is the saturation bar, to the right, we get much more deeper violet. So see what happens. I'm here. Let me increase the brightness a little bit more. So I'm in extreme violet area. So see, the violets are much more pure, darker, and dark in the sense more saturated. And now I come here and then just reduce the saturation. It almost goes to gray. See, when I move this, it's almost gray, right? So this is what happens when we play with these three factors. So basically, first of all, to pick any color, to define the colors, to select the colors, we must use the first bar. Say for example, I need a red, so I come to the red zone. Then how much brighter red? I need a less brighter red. I come to the darkness area. And then how much quantity of red I want to put? I will go to saturation bar. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. And I paint it. If I want it to be more opaque, I can increase the opacity. Right? Let me know in the comments, like whether you can understand. Whether if you cannot, then also let me know where is your like which of the area where you are not able to understand. So to blend the colors, next we have certain stroke or certain patches of color. To blend the color, we can have this one, which is a smudge brush, and we can come to here, get the same tamer, and we can do a very nice blend. See how the colors are blending with each other very softly, right? Okay, so we have just now came to know how to make a background like this, right? So basically this is my process. I choose and pick colors, draw them very abruptly, and then blend them to get the nicer backgrounds. Okay, now one question may come, okay, I've chosen my color, but now I want to preserve these colors. I want to keep these colors for future use or for more and more usage in this tool only. So what I can do? Okay, so first now let me go back few steps. So I just hold these two fingers and tap on this. So it is going to be undone or undone. I'm just going back to the old positions, and then I hold these three fingers and tap to redo. So three finger is for three finger tapping is for redo, and two finger tap is for undo. Right, simultaneously we can also use this buttons which I'm clicking, which is doing the undos, and I will be again re-clicking these things to bring back the strokes, which will be redo. Okay, so now I'll choose or pick the colors that I have used. So see, when I come over here and just single click, single finger and hold on that area, that particular color will be picked up. So this is one of my color. So now if we like this, you can see there is something called untitled, right? So untitled, if we just can see over here and click on this, we will get this color saved, and that saved color zone is called a palette. Palette is one of the most important thing of a picture. So I mean, for any illustration, deciding a palette is most important thing. So right now we have taken one color, so we want this second violet, we like this, we again click, we got saved. Again I need this kind of very toned down brown, so I like this, I again click it. So I have three different type of colors saved in my palette. So basically when you click over here and come to the right corner, you can see something called palettes, and I have so many palettes which I have actually used in my previous drawings. So if you want to get a glimpse of these palettes, you can go to my channel and see my previous videos. So there you can see, I mean, I always used to show the palettes which I have used for which one. Like for example, this Polar Express palette, you can see one shot is there where I have drawn one snowy area with a train going. So over there I have used this palette to draw. Or you can see there is a jar which I have drawn. There is a cat which I have drawn. So all these palettes I have used to draw, and I have kept them for my future use. So in the same way, you can preserve or store this palette. So just come over here, you can see the default or the untitled one is there. So the palette is saved. Whatever we do over here, how many colors we pick over here, those colors will be added to the palette. So see, I'm just randomly choosing some colors, and they have all been added for my future use. Now, if I just don't want any color to be there, what I can do is just hold on to there. A pop-up will come, delete swatch. I don't want this green, delete swatch, right? So in this way, we can either reduce the number of swatches from a palette, or we can add more. So till now, we have learned palette creation, and then we have also learned a few things about how to choose color, some basic logic of choosing the colors, and some properties of the colors. So let's go back, I mean, where we ended. So I'll just redo these things. Okay, I think I have done too many steps of reduce, so I'll just quickly do the background once again. Right, so now we are back to the old position where we started from. And then we will go to the next property, that is layers. Now when you come to layers, layer is very important because it is one of the most important tool with which we can play around with the illustration, save a lot of the efforts and do the things much more easily and quickly. So let me do some grapes. So for that I'll choose some of the color from here, some brush, so now see, we have done this directly on the layer 1. So now there is no way I can move this. So if I go to transform tool, which I showed you in the last class, if you haven't attended my last session, you can go to my channel and see live stream number 1. So there I have introduced you with the transformation brushes or transformation tools and how to use the basic things. So I'm not covering that in this session, but you can always go to live stream number 1 and you can look it. I am naming it according to the hashtags. So live stream hashtag number 1 and this is number 2. So like right now, if we just want to transform this, we cannot transform this one grape image that I have drawn. We cannot do that. It has been stuck with the background. So what we can do is just come over here, that is the layer tool, that is the layer palette, and click on this to get one more layer. Now we can do a grape, right? Let me make it a bit bigger. Okay, so this is, let's take, say for example, this is one grape. So now I can move it freely, right, at any position, any location, anywhere. Well and good. Now what I'll do is I'll add some shadow to it. So how to add? I'll just come to this color, come to classic one, and now since it's a shadow thing, I'll just reduce the darkness a bit. Okay, I'll just zoom it for your convenience. I've come to the darker color, a little bit dark. Okay, this is fine. Yes, let me see, and say for example the light is coming from this direction, so this is the light source, that dot is the light source. So if we have light coming from this direction, I've actually told something about judging the light and how to check it and how that is influenced by the color in your image. So you can always go to live stream number 1 and refer those things. So now I want to add paint some shadow. So I'll make the brush a little bit bigger and make this a little bit smaller, opacity a little bit lesser, and paint it. Okay. So this is the shadow. Okay, I have drawn few layers of shadow. I'll add some more darkness to this. Right, now the problem is that it has gone out of the border of this grape, right? So if we come to the grape and take a pencil and take a very bright color, the grape should actually be ending over here, right? Where I have drawn these dots. But see, this color has gone really out. So now what we can do to save this? Let's go back. When you open the layer and when you have an individual item placed in a particular layer, just click on this layer thumbnail or the layer image. Just click on that layer image and you can get this drop down. So under that drop down, there is something called Alpha Lock. Alpha Lock is a very interesting and very handy tool in Procreate. So it will save you from all these problems that I was telling, that the color is going out of the border. So it will protect your borders. Let's see what it does. So I turn on this Alpha Lock. See, this little tick mark has come over here. If I turn it off, there will be no tick. I click over here, turn on, Alpha Lock is turned on. So now I come over here, take the same evolve brush with which I was drawing, take some darker color. I'll just take this color, bring it down a little bit. See, however or wherever I move my brush, the darkness will be always staying within the border, right? Let me take the tamer brush. Reduce the size. Right? So it is always staying in the border. Wherever we take our brush, but still it is staying within the border. So that is the most beautiful thing about alpha lock. Let's see what happens when we turn off the alpha lock. Come over here, alpha lock turned off. Now let's draw. They are all going out, right? Undo. Come over here, turn on alpha lock. They're all inside, right? So just to protect your borders, the alpha lock is one of the most important thing that we should use. Let me blend it for you. A little bit blend. Let me reduce the brush size and the opacity. Much better. Okay. So now since we have added the darkness, we need some highlight. Okay, before I move to highlight, I just, another thing came into my mind. Say for example, you just want to be a little bit wild and just want to do strokes as per your wish. But later on you want to keep it within the border. Then what to do? There is another way. I took another layer, come over here, and then took the brush. I'm just selecting any random color just to make it more clearer to you. And I have drawn this strokes, right? So now I want these strokes to be falling just inside the grape. So now see, let's see how I have placed the layer order. At the top there is this pink layer, and then we have the grape layer. I just name it. I think it will be much more easier for you. I'll come to here and rename it. Let's name it as GRAPE. So this is the grape layer, right? So now I want this pink color to be confined within this grape. So what I can do is just click over here and click on clipping mask. Very simple. See, now whatever I have drawn just got bounded within the thing. Now one of the most confusing area of these two things are when I was learning Procreate, I got confused between what is the difference between alpha lock and clipping mask, because they do the same work, right? In clipping mask also it is within the boundary, in alpha lock also it got within the boundary. There is one difference. Clipping mask, since it's in a different layer, at any point of time we can get it back. So if I turn on the clipping mask, turn off the clipping mask, we again get back our strokes. If I just go and turn on the clipping mask, it get confined within the border of the below layer. Now if I delete this and if I come to here, even we turn on or turn off the alpha lock, we don't get the strokes because it's been merged with that grape layer. So basically clipping mask is a non-destructive pipeline, whereas alpha lock is a destructive pipeline. You cannot get back your alpha lock strokes after maybe say 150 or 20 strokes. It gets merged with the layer. So it totally depends whether you want to get it back in later period of time, then you can use clipping mask. If you don't want it and if you just want to go casual, you can use the alpha lock. Okay, so coming back to highlights, we were talking about the highlights, right? So we have done the darkness, of this grape. Now we want a little bit highlight. So I just again choose the same color. Now I'll increase the brightness of this color a little bit, tad bit. Take the same tamer brush, done, okay? and do a little bit roundness just to bring the midtones. And then we need some sharp highlights. So for that, what we can do is bump up the brightness even a little bit more, and then decrease the saturation. So it's almost white, but not exactly white. Reduce the brush size a little bit, increase the opacity, and then a sharp highlight, right? We can also smudge a little bit if we want. So that makes one of your grape, right? So now when we are talking about the grape, we just want to make a few more, right? Let me erase this light thing, and then we can just swipe our pencil or finger, whatever you are working with, on the layer to do this kind of activity. What? This, right? Simple swipe, right? Simple swipe. So if we just swipe from right to left, remember, right to left, not left to right, right to left swipe, we get this option, which gives us three options. Lock. If we lock this, we cannot work, we cannot do any strokes or anything, because it will throw us an error that it is locked. So I come back to the layer, swipe it, and then unlock it. Now it is workable. So now I come to this, do the same swiping action, and then click duplicate. So see, instantly we get a duplicate, but we cannot see it on the canvas, right? Just move to your transform tool and we get another one. Rotate it a little bit, right? I'll just reduce the canvas size, and we will continue with this activity a few number of times more. Rotate this, maybe warp this to bring some variation in the sizes. The similar thing you can also do with the 3-finger swipe. So if you take these 3 fingers and just swipe on your canvas, you get this menu, which is an additional tip. So copy paste. So here also you can do a copy and then again 3-finger swipe. You will get an option and get paste. So we again got a same thing. I'm just repeating this task a few bit more number of times. So now when we have so many groups of grapes, why don't we just keep them together and then duplicate all of them together? In that case, what to do? Okay, we can do many things. People who have some idea about Photoshop, they will tell we can merge it and make a duplicate. Of course we can do. We can click on the layer and we can see there is an option called merge down. So if we just keep on doing this, we will merge all these layers together. I'm just clicking them and see we have this merged thing, right? But the disadvantage of this thing is that when we place this or when we change this, we cannot go back because they're all merged. So what we can do this in a different way. We'll make a group. So let's undo this. I'll just undo it. And then I have told you that previously we were swiping from right to left, right? Right to left to get this. Now this time I will do the opposite action, that is left to right. So when I do this, see all these layers are changing the colors, right? I'll just do it once again. Left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of them change the color. Now we can go to the group option and we can have a new group. See, a new group. Now we can do a little bit transformation, and then see, in this group also we can individually select and move the grapes. So the advantage is that we can select individual things and move them, whereas they are all kept intact. So they are not getting merged together, right? So now we can take this group, again same right to left action, and duplicate this. So now we have two groups and so many grapes. We can put this layer at the back of the previous layer, so we just click and hold and move it down, right? So this has gone back. So in the similar way, we can do multiple duplications and create a real good bunch collection of grapes. And if I just, in any case, I want one or two grapes to move together, we can just open this, select one, move it. Isn't it easy? Okay. So now we have a few bunch of grapes, and I want to place them a little bit nicer way. Right? Little bit differently. I can see some of the gaps are over here, so I want to fill them. I'll just open this group, just make few duplications. Oops. Again, 3-finger swipe, get this copy, 3-finger swipe and paste. So another copy. Right? So the branch of grape is done. Isn't it nice? So now what we can do is, just to keep all the groups together, we'll just make a group of all the previous groups. So let's make it and name it as grape group. Okay. Fine. Now I want some branches to be done. So what I can do is, I just take a new layer. Then I will take this same spectral brush, which is one of my another favorite brush. Go to some kind of brown, select some brown. I'll take the help of my palette. Reduce the brush size. Fine, this is very thick. I'll just decrease the opacity. Take some different tone. This is working nice. So I'm just making the branches out of them. Right, and we have also seen that in this grape branches we can also have some kind of twigs, right? So we can also try to mimic them. I'll just erase this. We can bring this layer, another layer on the front, that is on top of the grape layer, right? I think that's too much. We'll just delete this. We'll just make it, keep it simple. We'll just reduce the count. Let's do it once again. Let's delete this add a new one. This is going nice. Now I'll reduce the size. This is one. This is another one. And let's say this is another one. All right. Now, what happens is anything which is there or which is existing in nature, which is in light, always casts some kind of shadow, right? So we must draw some shadow of this to make it look a little bit more believable. So what I'll do is I'll just try to do some shadow of this. So I'll take a darker color. Or we'll just duplicate this. Go to the warp. I'll just put it on the surface of this grape. It may look very silly at this moment. Now under adjustment, come to hue, saturation and adjustment, layer, and just reduce the brightness, right? Almost dark. And then also reduce the opacity of this layer. So what we can do is just click on this N icon, this little N, just click on this, and you can actually reduce the opacity of this. I've gone very less, right? Right. Now I have already told you that we can do clipping mask. Or let's don't do clipping mask over here. We'll just simply go forward and erase the parts where there is nothing. And then come over here and take Gaussian blur, layer, and apply a little bit of blur. Right? Okay. Coming back to the old branch, I'll pick this color. I'll choose some highlight. Go to alpha lock because I don't want this color to reuse anytime later. So I'll just go to here and start painting the highlights. And then overall select this layer and reduce the saturation a little bit and also tone down the brightness. Okay. So till now I think I'm clear. And let's finish it off with giving a much more darker background so that that contrast is created. So I'll come to this violet, go to classic mode, come to here, take a really big brush, come to this layer, create a new one and really go crazy with the brush size. I think I'm still not that dark. I'll even make it even more darker. Okay. Now I'll merge these two layers, the top one and bottom one. To merge, you can just pinch, hold and pinch these two layers. I'll just undo this and just pinch it together to merge them. And then I can go to here and select Gaussian blur and then just apply a little bit blur. Our bunch of grape is ready. So in this session we have learned a few more things, that is how to use the layers, what are the color theories or what are the color things that we use to learn, and apart from that we have known how to use the palettes, how to save the colors for future use. So once we are pretty okay with this kind of things, then we will go to the next step. So tomorrow I'll be bringing some subject. It will be not much tutorial type of session tomorrow, and tomorrow I'll just not do much of the talking but just do one of my favorite character. Okay, now tomorrow is a surprise. Let's see which character I draw. I'm also not very sure which character I'm going to draw, but I will definitely draw from one of my most favorite characters that I have seen in films, comics, wherever. So tomorrow same time, 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and I think it's 2:30 Universal Time, 2:30 p.m. Universal Time, and PDT time I think it's 7:30 a.m. in the morning. So okay, I'm sorry, Somya, Boka, they have said hi. You can understand it's my new thing I'm doing. So sorry Somya, sorry Boka, I haven't been able to respond you. So I'll get more used to these things and I can respond much more quickly. I was just lost in this talking thing. So tomorrow I'll be drawing a new new character from one of my favorite character list, and tomorrow it will be more of a drawing kind of session and less of tutorial. But if you want to get a very basic of the Procreate startup thing, you can go to my channel, click on the live stream number 1, and then once you go through live stream number 1, you can understand this, which is live stream number 2, and you can just connect these two dots together and then move forward to it. So if you want any of your suggestion or any of one of your suggested drawing to be featured in this channel, or if you want I draw one of your request, please let me know in the comments and I'll try to definitely draw them in my future live sessions. So hope you have enjoyed this session. I have totally enjoyed training you and telling you the things like that I have known by seeing multiple tutorials, all bits and pieces here and there, and that too not in an order. So what in this session I'm trying to put everything in an order in a step-by-step manner, so that a very basic person also can learn it very easily. Those person who don't have any idea or any startup of a digital art background, they can also learn it. So I think you have enjoyed. Hope to see you more and hope to get more and more people connected with me in my channel in my future sessions. So see you tomorrow. Till then, tata and have a tight sleep tonight. Bye bye.